Now, new trend number 12, email secrets in a changing market. You know, reading email is something you have to earn again and again after sending each message. One of the problems people have is creating what I would call the number one email marketing mistake. And that's you're selling by email. It's just a sales pitch. The fact is, after each email, you have to ask, will the content of this message encourage recipients to let us send another email if they had to opt out again? In other words, if they had to opt in again, I should say. In other words, each email has to have value. You know, if I get an email and I start anticipating, all you're doing is trying to sell me, I start deleting you automatically or unsubscribing. The average investor gets about 16 emails daily that he'll read that's not business or personal. If you're not in that 16, you're automatically deleted. For you to get in that 16, you've got to provide value and keep that value going so that they may not have responded that first time, but each time they're thinking, well, I wonder what's going to be said next. I learned something this time. That conversion series I showed you, well, in the conversion series, you want to be able to have value in each one. We recently did one for a conversion series for people for precious metals. Well, each email letter and postal letter has a single theme where the prospect learns something before the sales copy. So you want to do the 3 R's of email marketing to prospects: relevant, have a great readability, and having it rewarding with value, great value in it. And with email, you can do all kinds of email lists. If you're curious about which email list might be good, feel free to contact me at any time, and I can tell you which are the best email lists. But there's lots to choose from that are going to give you good leads or good orders coming in. And here's an example of a VectorVest email, Wall Street's 4 biggest lies. Which one is costing you money? Now, there's content in here. They learn something as well as sales. Here's an email that was just text in a chart. Why? Because sometimes HTML is going to cut down on your response because, why? Because of the filters. Here's another plain text. Notice how it's very conversational. I just received a phone call about an hour ago that changed my perspective on some little-known market news on gold stocks. Now, when you do email, one of the things we do is we test the copy. We test with a picture, with chart, without, and we also test subject lines. Let me give you an example of some subject line tests here. Look at these 4. Which do you think is the winning subject line? Well, notice how the increase in response between them. Notice how the one that says 7 irresistible forces could make this stock a 400% winner. That's such a greater increase in response. Well, look at this one. These tests. Price, picture outperformed no picture, 68% higher with a picture of the person writing the letter. A chart outperformed no chart. Charts performed 33% higher. Using video, I'll talk about video in a minute. Video outperformed no video, 113%. Non-superscript, that's the area above the salutation versus superscript. Non-superscript has been producing 92% higher return. So you always want to test different variables in the email to see what's working best for you. Now here's a subject line test. Here's a subject line where it's talking about breaking news, Shaq named NXTHOB spokesman versus 4 analysts agree on NXT for 2010. Well, when the response rates were in, the one that got the top one, subject line number 1, got a 2.51% response. Well, the 4 analysts got a 3.04% response, much better. When you're doing email, if you can do a third-party marketing campaign with someone, that's great. For this, for example, one of the largest e-zines or electronic newsletters is Daily Reckoning. And here they are talking about a coin company and making the recommendation. The response rates are quite high with that, so the person comes to that coin company.